The Protectors of Phandalin, Chapter 2. The Protectors of Phandalin survey the loggers' camp in the evening sunlight that is now strewn with the bodies of dead Kruthik after being attacked by these underground dwelling creatures. Tybor Wester, returning back from the woods, is amazed at how well the party defeated the creatures. Looking around the rest of the camp, the party noticed that all of the buildings, apart from one, have been destroyed. This is curious. Tybor explains that the building still standing is the main office, and might have been spared due to having a stone floor. It is still a mystery as to why the creatures attacked the camp in the first place. Tybor does not think that they have seen the last of them. It is getting late, and the party must decide if they are going to camp here for the night, or move into the forest. They decide to scour the area and search for any more Kruthik before they make a decision. The first hour is spent rolling logs over the 3 holes in the south camp that the Kruthik emerged from, to make it difficult for any other creatures that might still be down there to get out. Princess Lady Anastasia and Tristan search the north camp. They can find no more Kruthik holes, and the remaining tents just contain the usual camping gear: sleeping bags, blankets, mess tins and the like. Amos the Destroyer heads up the escarpment to the east, only to find further destroyed buildings and earth mounds that were probably holes, but have since caved in. He then heads to the main building and listens at the door. Hearing nothing, moving inside, Princess enters through the heavy wooden door. There is another internal door at the north end of the building, to which Tybor mentions that this is his private office. Amos ensures that it is empty and safe before letting Tybor inside. Fairfax Whitbeam humorously asks as to where the safe is, suggesting that they take any gold that might be inside. Amos frowns, and reminds the sorcerer that he said they were going to do this out of the goodness of their own hearts. Fairfax smiles back at Amos. Clearly the barbarian did not get the joke. As the rest of the party prepare to rest up in the cabin after their fight with the Kruthik, Zurek decides to go out into the woods and scout the surrounding area to ensure the perimeter is safe. Tybor Wester decides to retire to his office. Amos insists that he joins him to ensure his safety, while Fairfax, Tristan and Zarya Cree make themselves comfortable in the main room. Princess decides to take first watch. The horses are secured under the porch for the night, and Amos suggests that Princess stands guard from the cabin roof. Using her dexterity, Princess climbs up skillfully onto the roof as Amos throws her a rope and asks her to tie it to the chimney, so it would be easy for the next person on watch duty to climb up. As they all settle down for a long rest, Amos thinks it might have been better to sleep on the jetty rather than in the cabin, still concerned that the Kruthik might try to break through from under the floor during the night. After only a few hours, Princess Lady Anastasia notices the ground to the east fall away as claws begin to appear on the rim of a newly formed hole. She attempts to wake up the rest of the party by casting prestidigitation and sending sparks down the chimney to alert everyone. Below in the main room, sparks start to dance out of the fireplace, but Tristan is in a deep sleep and does not notice anything. Fortunately, Zarya Cree is a light sleeper and sees the sparks. Realizing that it's probably a signal from Princess, she quickly tries to wake Fairfax Whitbeam and Tristan by saying that they all need to go outside. Then she swiftly runs outside to see what the problem might be, but suspects that the Kruthik may have returned. Zarya Cree immediately notices a new hole in the ground some 40 feet from the cabin door, with 2 Kruthik crawling out of it. She shouts up to Princess asking when did these show up, who replies just now. Zarya, without hesitation, pulls out her crossbow and shoots at the nearest creature. Still not fully awake, her shot misses as the Kruthik charges towards her and slashes her critically across both legs with its razor-sharp claws. Amos the Destroyer, hearing the commotion coming from the direction of the main room, lights his lantern and says to Tybor to stay in the office. As he climbs carefully out of the window, he sees the second Kruthik coming out of the new hall, and in a rage the barbarian throws 2 javelins that both embed themselves into the tough chitin hide of the creature. Princess now leaps recklessly down from the roof, landing on the back of the Kruthik attacking Zarya. Swinging her blood axe in a rage, she critically hits the creature, its legs buckling under the attack. It is severely injured. The Kruthik, with a javelin sticking out of its side, now shoots spikes from its body at the female barbarian, now riding on the back of the other Kruthik. It then strides across to the cabin porch and starts attacking the horses with its huge serrated mandibles. An adult Kruthik now charges out from the hole and attacks Princess Lady Anastasia, trying to dislodge her from the back of the younger Kruthik. Meanwhile, back in the cabin, Fairfax Whitbeam makes his way to the doorway. Seeing the Kruthik, he casts Chromatic Orb, as 2 bright spheres of light shoot out into the darkness, which is only dimly lit by the lantern Amos is carrying. The first one impacts the adult Kruthik, exploding in a shower of crackling energy. The second harmlessly passes over the Kruthik attacking the horses. Tristan finally manages to wake up and sees the carnage unfolding outside. He casts Summon Animals as 2 giant toads appear next to Kruthik. Zarya Kree, seeing Princess on the back of a badly wounded Kruthik, moves forward to attack with her dagger, but the blade simply glances off its natural chitin armour. The Kruthik that Princess is riding shoots out spikes wildly, trying to get the female barbarian off its back. Amos the Destroyer puts down his lantern in the porch and steps out to protect the horses. Swinging his great axe recklessly at the Kruthik, he cuts off a number of its limbs. At the same time, Princess Lady Anastasia sinks her blood axe into the head of the creature she is riding as it collapses to the floor. She leaps onto the next nearest one in an amazing feat of athletic agility, landing on the back of the adult Kruthik. Initially startled by the appearance of 2 giant toads, one of the Kruthik stabs one, almost to see if they are real. As the Kruthik next to Amos also stabs the barbarian, he is not fazed by this type of attack. The adult Kruthik, concerned by Princess now on his back, rears up and sprays Tristan and Zarya with acid. The Tiefling manages to avoid the bulk of the acid using her dexterity, as Tristan uses his Dragonborn gift of chromatic resistance. That said, they both are still badly burned by the acid that still manages to find its mark. Seeing the acid burn his friends, Fairfax Whitbeam casts Cure Wounds in an attempt to heal some of the acid damage inflicted on Zarya. The sorcerer then backs away, not wanting to receive a similar attack. This gives Tristan the opportunity to charge at the adult Kruthik that sprayed acid on him and attack it using primal savagery. He then casts Healing Word on himself to cure some of the acid damage he took. Meanwhile, the 2 giant toads engage the Kruthik. Biting the young Kruthik, poison seeps into its bloodstream. It becomes grappled by the toad's tongue. At this point, Zurak returns from his patrol and bursts through the trees. Seeing the party in trouble, he rushes into battle. Amos the Destroyer, seeing the Goliath entering the fray, gives a wry smile to his friend and shouts out, "You're in trouble now." With that, Zurak throws a spear that finds its mark in the belly of the nearest Kruthik. Zarya Kree, still recovering from the acid, moves forward and casts Witch Bolt at the adult Kruthik that Princess is riding. A beam of crackling blue energy lances out towards the creature, causing immense damage. Unfortunately, Princess is caught in the blast too and also takes some of the lightning damage. Seeing the young Kruthik stab at his horse, Amos the Destroyer swings his great axe above his head and, bringing it down sharply, manages to cut the creature's head clean off. He then heads down towards the adult Kruthik that is still smoking from the Witch Bolt. Princess Lady Anastasia continues to hang on to the adult Kruthik, landing yet more blows on its body with her blood axe. Amos implores her to jump off before she takes any more damage, but she simply smiles and continues to attack the creature. The Kruthik, being grappled by the giant toad, strikes out with its razor-sharp claws, cutting it badly. Just as the adult Kruthik takes another deep breath and blasts Zari and Tristan with another acid spray. Again, the druid uses chromatic resistance against the attack, but Zarya is caught off guard and takes the full force of the blast as her knees begin to buckle. She still manages to hold her concentration as lightning damage from a witch bolt continues to burn the creature. Unfortunately, her horse was also caught in the acid blast and it slumps to the ground dead. Tristan is unable to keep his concentration as the acid burns his skin and the giant toads he summoned disappear. Fairfax is relieved that he was out of range of that second acid attack, but still moves back up towards the melee to cast Cure Wounds on Zarya Kree, who is looking badly burned by the acid. Tristan, gathering his wits, casts Summon Animals again. This time a great constrictor snake appears and grapples the adult Kruthik. At the same time he also casts Healing Word on himself to ease the pain of the acid burns. Meanwhile, Zurek takes out the mighty Lightbringer mace and dispatches the remaining young Kruthik with ease. Then he makes his way forward to assist in the defeat of the adult Kruthik. Amos the Destroyer welcomes the Goliath as he swings his great axe once again, taking off one of the creature's legs. Still on the Kruthik's back, Princess Lady Anastasia swings once more with her blood axe. Then, not wanting to take any more lightning damage from the ongoing effects of the witch bolt, jumps off and onto the porch. Unable to use its acid attack, the adult Kruthik stabs wildly at Amos and Zurek as Fairfax prepares the killing blow. Casting Chromatic Orb, a sphere of lightning energy impacts the creature, causing it to explode in a shower of skin and bone. As the dust settles, Tybor Wester comes to the front door in a state of shock. He insists that they can't stay here a minute longer as there are too many of these creatures and wants to leave. Amos, feeling tired and fatigued after the battle, shakes his head and says that he just wants to go back to bed. As Tybor becomes increasingly delirious with panic, Tristan casts Snare, but before things get out of hand, Amos picks up Tybor, carries him to his office and tries to calm him down. With this, Princess agrees to continue her watch, and an uneasy quiet fills the cabin as the Protectors of Phandalin settle down for a long rest. Just after midnight, Tristan relieves Princess, and less than an hour later, more burrowing can be heard coming from under the ground. Clearly the party were not going to get much sleep tonight. Maybe they should have left the loggers' camp when they had the chance.